How many people here have grandkids? Raise your hand right up there. Let's see this. How many of you live on planet Earth? Right. And how many of you love those grandkids and love this planet? Yeah, that's why I'm up here. I have grandkids, and I love this planet. And I'm really worried. Things aren't looking so good out there for us, for the future, and for the future of these children and grandchildren. There's some hard times coming down the road, and because of the global warming and climate change and the drastic changes that will take place on this planet if we don't do something now to turn it around. So about a year ago, there were a few of us who founded the Milwaukee chapter of 350.org. And 350 is the parts per million of carbon dioxide that climate scientists say is the upper limit that we can tolerate in the atmosphere in order to sustain life as we know it on this planet. Last summer, we reached 400 parts per million. So we've got to not only stop adding more carbon dioxide, we have really got to put the brakes on and back up and drastically reduce our carbon emissions and hope that we can get things back into a stable position again. So 350.org was organized by Bill McKibbins and some other young people about 5 years back, and it has spread like wildfire across the planet. 188 countries have 350.org chapters. It's amazing. So it's an activist organization, and we educate, we get the word out there, but we also take action. And one of the coolest actions that's happening right this moment, as we speak, was a great big demonstration today in Washington, D.C. with the Cowboys and Indians. Cowboys and Indians Alliance rode into Washington, D.C. this week on horseback together and put up an encampment across the street from the White House. They had about 32 huge white teepees planted along the National Mall, and it's just so cool. I mean, I just think they understand so well the crisis that we're in. And so the ranchers and the farmers and the tribal peoples from the great American West that would be affected by the new Keystone XL pipeline that would come down from Canada bearing this very dirty tar sands oil would be coming right across the Ogallala's underground, not reservoir, but aquifer, thank you, aquifer. And the lives of these ranchers and farmers and tribal people depend on the water systems there. The water in the West is so precious. And they know that any break in this Keystone pipeline coming through their lands not only contaminate the lands, but would contaminate that aquifer because that aquifer is very close to the surface. I saw a video of a farmer showing, taking a walk out into his fields, and there were these little ponds, little lakes in his fields here and there. He says, that's the aquifer. That's Ogallala. It surfaces and forms these little puddles on top of the earth. He says, no matter where that pipeline would leak over here, it would contaminate that aquifer, which is a source of drinking water and water for agriculture and for everything throughout that whole huge region of the West. So they're very concerned. So the Cowboys and Indians got their act together. We need to get our act together. And if they can pull together and root for each other and be one in their appeal for saving this planet, then we all need to be able to do that. So I ask that you would join 350.org. We've got a sign-up sheet in the back. There's no membership fee. You just simply get on an email list. We'll let you know what's happening. We meet once a month, the second Tuesday of each month at the Urban Ecology Center on Milwaukee's east side. And we have a very short, maybe 15-minute little business meeting to kind of update what's happening and what the next actions will be. And then we have a speaker, and usually a very interesting one. Next time it's going to be on solar technology and how it's really moving fast and forward and able to really replace carbon-based technologies or sources for energy technologies. And as a result, after that we can have some questions and answers. And so it's about an hour-and-a-half meeting from 7 to 8:30. And we really need people to get involved. We've got a lot of work to do in front of us. There's a couple other campaigns that we have too. The divestment campaign is a big one, to divest from fossil fuels. And the Unitarian Church in Milwaukee is the first congregation in the entire United States to have voted to divest. And in fact, Tara Biggins, who's here this evening, was responsible for that campaign with the local church, and she was really successful. So that's moving on. We're trying to get, there's colleges, a lot of, probably, it's way over 100 colleges now that have had campaigns to divest any college investment funds from fossil fuel investments. I checked my own little investment thing. I thought it was really pretty clean, and a little percentage of it turned out to about maybe 8% had some stocks I didn't even know I had, and there they were. ExxonMobil, come on, this is really embarrassing. When I get on the phone, I'm thinking, what am I going to do about this? And so I had my son do some research, and we found a really good place to invest is called a Green Century. If you're looking for a real clean, green place to put your money, Green Century doesn't invest in any fossil fuel stuff. It has a very good record, so that's a little, helpful hint. But we really do need to take personal responsibility for our own lives and how we live, and to let our politicians know that we have to stop this Keystone XL pipeline. Because if all the oil, this dirty, dirty tar sands oil from Alberta, Canada, would be pumped through the United States to the refineries in this Texas coastline, and then 85% of it they expect to be exported. It's not going to be used for us, for our needs. If that's burned, no matter where it's burned on the planet, it's suspected or estimated that all of that tar sands oil being burned would put us so over the top on carbon emissions that it would be game over for the planet, according to Dr. James Hansen and the famous NASA scientist. So we've really got to put the brakes on this, and it's making out to be a big job provider and all that. That probably once after it's constructed, there'll be maybe 8,000 to 10,000 jobs with that, which is important. But once it's done, there'll be about 50 jobs left to sustain it, and according to the State Department. So it's not worth the risk for 50 long-term jobs. So that's something that 350 is working on very hard. Hope that you would join us with that effort. Sign up in the back, come to our meetings, and don't be afraid to take some of the literature. It doesn't hurt, really. It's not toxic or anything. You can pick it up and take it home and read it. And we really would like you to join us in this effort. Because, and the poems tonight talking about these very problems, and we can do something about it. We really can. Thank you. Yeah.